Why Geometry Dash is the key to life. Let's learn.
Life.
Life.
Life is something that we experience every single day in so many different ways. Friendship, work.
Like, doesn't this video seem too dramatic for a Geometry Dash video? That's why I'm so curious to watch this. What is this about, bro?
School, food. We do our best to enjoy it, even though sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes people get lost. But what if I told you that one single game can fix all of this? One game to solve all of your problems.
I know this game, I know this game, I love this game.
That leads you to the path of success. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash! I like Geometry Dash. If you couldn't tell by my whole channel being Geometry Dash.
Geometry Dash is a rhythm game that has consistently been at the top charts for years. With so many iconic songs, difficult levels, and a strong community, it's almost impossible that you haven't at least heard of Geometry Dash. Especially within the last few years, there's been a huge surge in popularity. The release of 2.2, levels like Tidal Wave or Skeletal Shenanigans, and content creators like Jinxie and Zoink have all consistently brought Geometry Dash to the front of media for a while.
Jinxie and Vortrox and Zoink, right? I think you forgot to say my name, guys. Oh, it's fine, I forgive him,
I'm here to talk about Geometry Dash's feats or gameplay. I'm here to inform you that it can change your life. No, really. A lot of people in life will tell you that consistency is key, but sometimes people, including myself, struggle to even conceptualize this. When you work on something for so long, over and over and
Dude,
over.
That steak, bro? Call me big, bro, but that steak is like, I just like, that looks good, bro. That looks like it's gonna be a good steak.
Again, but you see no results. It's hard to really believe that consistency will get you anywhere, except if you play Geometry Dash.
Part 1, repetition / consistency.
If you're someone who struggles with consistency in life, but you play Geometry Dash every single day, I can confidently tell you with 100% that you're already halfway there, and I'm going to get you back on track to a success.
Back on track reference from Geometry Dash. That's a good one. Being
colorful, creative, fun, but most importantly, hard. Sometimes a little too hard. There's 8 different game modes and 11 different difficulties. Like, this game gets serious. If you want to play Geometry Dash, it's gonna be a mental investment. And you can't just beat any Geometry Dash level by just looking at it once and doing a playthrough. Levels can take dozens to hundreds to thousands of attempts. But this doesn't stop players from
or even millions. Okay, no, that's pushing it. Wait, has anybody spent 1 million attempts on a level? No, Vision, Silent Club Step, I think he has like 800k attempts or something crazy on unnerfed Silent Club Step. That's probably the closest thing now. But we can say tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. Because Doggy, for example, has over 250k attempts into Grief.
In the game. If anything, this is considered the fun part of Geometry Dash, learning and staying consistent. When I'm playing a new demon level, I will play a certain section over and over again until I get it right. And even then, when I pass that area for the first time and move on to the next, I find myself often going back in practice mode so I can make sure that I have that part memorized and I can
Oh yeah, bro. I replay parts a lot. As you can tell, the last 3 days of me playing Cycles X, I've just been playing the same parts over and over, but I have to if I'm gonna learn, because this level's hard, bro.
Get it done consistently. I remember back when Bloodbath came out, a big trend in Geometry Dash was if you could straight fly with a ship or not. It was a skill a lot of people tried to conquer, and some would spend hours getting it down, trying to get those precise clicks.
Ew.
But the only way to really practice—
Ew! Go back, what was that guy's ship?
Some would spend hours getting it down, trying to—
Ew! Of all the ships in Geometry Dash, he chose this, the narwhal fish that's half, like, silhouette for some reason? Ew, bro.
Get those precise clicks. But the only way to really practice was to find a difficult level and continue to do it again and again. And when you play more difficult levels in the game, there isn't much wiggle room for error either, meaning that if you're not consistently hitting the same jumps and inputs at the exact moment the level calls for, there's absolutely no way you're beating that level, which is why you need to repeat it over and over, building muscle memory until it becomes a second nature. But the thing is that if you can get that down, you can get almost anything down outside of playing video games.
Bro, I feel like I'm gonna learn something from this video about life. Life itself.
Repeating the same hard thing over and over again, even though it's going to be frustrating, knowing what's coming in life will make things so much easier. And these are all things that you can learn simply by playing a game like Geometry Dash. No matter what is thrown at them, Geometry Dash players are the most persistent people on this planet. So then, why is it so hard for people to stay consistent in real life? Maybe you play Geometry Dash, but you still find yourself struggling in other areas of your life. Well, yeah, of course it's easy to be consistent if we're talking about a video game, but there's no way I can do all of that outside of the game. It's because you haven't thought of the end result. Why do people play Geometry Dash? Because it's hard? Maybe. But a lot of people I know will play a new level and continue to play that level because the end result looks amazing. All of the colors with the music satisfyingly blending together, the satisfaction of knocking off a difficult level off your list, the rewards you get for beating it, the unexplainable feeling of relief after you knew how long you tried to work on this level and you finally get it done.
Oh my god, yes!
That feeling can be applied directly to life. Sometimes
That's true though, bro. Like when you play a level for a really long period of time, and when you like finally beat it, it's like, oh my gosh, like I no longer have to think about that. Like it's so weird. Like you think that you'd hate it. Like when I played Geometry Dash, I spent like 4 months on a level. You think by the end of it, I would just like hate the level and hate the game and hate everything. And yeah, I do get frustrated, but like, you know, you just feel like good about yourself. It's like, yeah, like I did that. I did a hard thing, and the only reason I was able to do that is because I worked for it. There's no way to cheat your way to completion. Okay, well, all right. Well, yes, people can cheat, but they're not going to cheat their way to actually beating a level. You know what I mean? You can't cheat your way to the satisfaction from beating a really hard Geometry Dash level. And I guess he's trying to say is that can translate to a lot of things in life. I'm trying to think right now, what could I do that? Like maybe if you go to the gym every day, you don't really like going to the gym, but then you get in good shape, so that's good, I guess. Let me let him speak. He'll say it's better than me.
sometimes when working on a project that takes months, it's so incredibly easy to feel like it's not even worth it to continue doing what you're doing. So many hours are put into one task, but there's no positive return or profit. I've even felt this way here on this YouTube channel. There's been dozens of times where I'm working on a video and I just don't have the mental capacity to keep going. I feel like it isn't even worth it to post a video. Or I do post it and it doesn't do well, so I feel like I need to stop. But thinking and visualizing the end result has led me down a path of success and growth beyond what I even thought was possible. Yeah, sometimes I might not find that success now, but if I quit, I'll never even be able to see what the possibility of success looks like. I continue to do what I'm doing because I know that my future self will thank me for it, even if I'm pushing myself to my very limits. Sometimes when playing Geometry Dash, players will spend thousands of attempts on a single extreme demon just to barely even reach 4% on that level. It seems absolutely insane, but it happens because people visualize themselves at 5% or even 10%. It may not be now, but if you stay consistent enough and focus on that end result, you will get there. The more you practice something and continue to be optimistic, the better you will become at it. And eventually your skills will flow like water. Staying consistent is one thing, but when focus and optimism is the—
So how consistent do I have to be to master the Force and become a Jedi? I mean, look, bro. I've beaten 30 extreme demons. I could become a Jedi. I can learn the Force. I'm gonna go do that right now. I'm done watching this video. I'm gonna get my life started. Goodbye, chat. It's a new era for me. Oh, just kidding, guys. Say hi, Pudding. Hi, Pudding. You don't like that? Belly rub, belly rub. I decided I don't need to become a Jedi. I can just hang out with my cat Pudding, and that's all the happiness I need. Bye, Pudding. Now back to our video, though. I had to take a Pudding intermission. I felt inspired to go grab my cat.
leading mindset, you're gonna be perfect. And please do bring this mindset with you anywhere in life. Applying to jobs, getting your schoolwork done, going to the gym. Look, if you can get 20% on Tidal Wave, then you can definitely get in one more set at the gym. One thing that's a little interesting to me is that after being in both communities for a while, I've noticed that rhythm game players and fighting game players actually have a lot in common. And often, people who play one love to play the other. I think this is because both types of people can understand input discipline and what it will look like when practice is applied to gameplay. In fighting games, some combos can be extremely difficult to input. It requires tight timing.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. They're very different mediums, but it still just comes down to, can you get these timings right? Like, do this series of clicks consistently. I guess I can see that, actually. I should try a fighting game. Maybe I would be good at Super Smash Brothers.
Sight reading and adjusting when needed. Doesn't this sound like a different game? But seriously, when I'm practicing a combo over and over, I try to imagine the end result. Me pulling this off against another player, being able to consistently profit off knowing the more difficult input, allowing myself more options. I could technically get away in a fighting game with just knowing the bread and butter combos or spamming jab, but realistically, how far is that going to get me? And once I already know the combo, well, it's pretty hard to unlearn it. This is exactly how life works. Some things are extremely difficult to learn, but we all have to start somewhere. People think that they can just wait to do something until they're ready, but realistically, they'll never be ready. So practice and enjoy the repetition in life. Playing Geometry Dash is a way of life because the game shows you how to persevere and practice consistency. If you know what it's like to finally complete that level that you've been working on for so long, then you too can know what it feels like to be successful in life. Just by simply taking the patterns that I follow when playing that game and applying them to my daily life, I've been so much happier and genuinely on top of things. Doing the same things over and over, adjusting when I need to, this is the same thing as Geometry Dash. Making sure that I think about what my hard work will bring me, staying consistent on the difficult tasks so they become easier to do over time. We as people push towards goals and write them because we know that it's possible. Even the slightest possibility that our delusions just might become reality is what keeps us going every single day. So, am I ever going to actually beat Tidal Wave? Of course not. But I like to keep trying and imagine that one day I'll eventually learn it. And besides even the difficult levels, some only just take a couple attempts to beat. But if I were to give up on attempt 1, I wouldn't even know that. This is how you approach life. By playing Geometry Dash.
True.
Yeah.
Yo, W video by Green Cheese. But I do want to say one thing, chat. I want to express my opinion about this. We're going to get a little philosophical here. Okay, so he mentions a couple times how his motivation to keep going is by envisioning the end result to get him to keep on going and do these repetitive things. I almost don't know how I feel about that statement because I feel like, sure, like, say you have a goal, like, maybe you want to become, like, a famous actor or something like that. And to get there, you have to do tons of auditions and do so many auditions, get rejected, and this and that. And I feel like if you focus, like, with any goal in life, if you focus too much on the end result, I feel like maybe you won't enjoy the journey to get there as much. I don't know. It's funny because I hear people say like the opposite, like don't just focus on the end result because that'll take away your enjoyment. Like focus on the journey to get there and focus on the small things. And I don't think that Green Cheese was saying not to focus on the small things in life and the small steps leading up to the final goal. But I do feel like you should like, you don't want to just focus on the end goal because then like you'll feel like you're getting nowhere when you just make a little bit of progress. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is enjoy the journey as well. Like, sure, you can envision what the possibilities are with the end result, but don't just focus on the end result. I think you should also really just try to enjoy the journey. Like with me, for example, if we're relating this back to Geometry Dash, obviously, I'm not the greatest player ever. There's people beating Tidal Wave, Thinking Space 2. And, you know, like, it's my job to play Geometry Dash, essentially. So it's like, man, like, should I be upset with myself for not being that good of a player? But I honestly don't see it that way. I am thoroughly enjoying the journey. I like taking it one step at a time, starting with, you know, we had Bloodbath, then Phobos, if you could call that enjoyable. So Hell, and then I did 100 Days of Extreme Demons, and, like, I slowly am beating harder and harder stuff. Now I'm doing Cycles X. Like, I feel like if I was just so focused on, like, just jumping to, like, Acheron or something like that, I would just not even enjoy it. I'm like, man, these extremes are easy. Like, what's the point of this? Like, I think it's important to enjoy the journey as well. That is my philosophical take on this. And again, I don't think that Green Cheese was saying you shouldn't enjoy the journey. I think he was just saying he views envisioning what the end result could be as motivation to do that journey. But I just wanted to clarify that in my own words, like how I feel. Yeah. Thanks for listening to me philosophize. I don't do this often.